Well, hello, Art 1 students. Hello, Mr. Haupt.
Yeah, that's no good. Let's try it again. Here we go.
Sorry.
Well, welcome to Mr. Harp's.
Okay.
Well, stop. Stop. All right.
Okay, serious. And action.
Well, hello, Art 1 students, and hello, Mr. Haupt.
Hello. How are you today?
Well, very well. I'm very excited about another exciting lesson. What are the students going to be doing today?
Well, we're going to continue with our watercolor painting of the cell phone that contains a positive inspirational message. Okay, so here we are with part 2 of our cell phone watercolor painting. And what we've got set up here is the initial drawing that I did earlier. And what I've brought along is my palette, a few brushes here, a clear, clean glass of water, my rag, and a little scratch sheet here so I can test my color. Remember, our goal is to really just work on a wash background like you see in this final one here, where we're just working on some nice combination of colors that represents a table surface or something like that. Okay, so that's our goal. So we're going to focus just really on this background color. So as we look at this, we're going to take this phone here and leave that whole area unpainted. We'll leave it white, and we'll decide what to do with that later on. So step 1 here is I'm going to grab this brush, which is a wide square. It's called an inch square, or 3/4 of an inch. I was wrong, but close enough. So we'll go ahead and grab some paints, and what I have is green. I have some blue here. I'm going to avoid the red. I have a little brown here, maybe to dull some of these colors. So we're going to mix a good amount of color out into this mixing area. So I dip in here. I liquefy my green, put a little water in my blue just to kind of get this activated. All right. There we go. Let that settle a little bit. Mix up. Okay. Onto the blue. Once again, the goal is to just really get it started. No thick paint here. Very liquefied. Our background that we're going to create, like I said, is going to be a wash. Now, a wash is very light colors, heavy on the water side, just to create just some background color. Okay, so now that I've got those liquefied, what I'm going to do is probably combine those two out here with a good amount of water. So I'll pull some water, soak up some blue, nice kind of a turquoise there. It's very pretty. Okay, I'm going to steal some of this green, soak it up. I'll probably soak up all of it here. And some more. All right, now I'm going to grab more water, and I'm just kind of scooping it and kind of dumping it. And the goal is always make more paint than you think you're going to use. If you run out of paint, this tends to dry. You see all the marks left behind. That's an undesired effect. All right. That seems fine to me to go ahead and get started here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually just paint with water. It might be dirty water, that's fine. But just work this around the outside edge of my subject here. Just keep it nice and wet. What that does is it affords me time to work into my paints and kind of fill in and let those colors kind of bleed and blend around my subject. If I don't do that and I just take a little bit with each brush, it'll dry. Each stroke will dry and you'll see all these little kind of square marks, and it doesn't look as nice. So here we go. Wish me luck. So load up the brush. The bigger the brush, the better. Using the square edge like this, I'll come down the side. I can work that in quickly. Using the edge of the brush just like that. Square it off. Go get more water. Work that in. Around like this. Trying to make it look somewhat natural. Come down there, use that edge just like this. There you go. Come down to this region here. Same thing, work across this. That makes sure I have all edges next to the phone complete. I work out to here. I included a little something that you'll see later on. Okay. So we have a little wash. You can see some of the blue. Now I'm going to really grab the color and just work that in. Same effect. I might grab just a little bit of the green just for fun. Go. So again, use that tool, the squareness of that brush, to create that desired effect. Okay. Looks like I dropped it in the toilet or the bathtub, but hey, no problem. I'll retrieve it. And that might be all I really need. So I just want a light little bit. Okay. Now to create maybe a little shadowed effect, I might go directly back into the darker. I'm going to grab actually a little bit of brown now. Get that started just a little bit. Pull that out here. This will be a little shadow. So a little bit of brown and blue kind of makes this deeper grayish value that I'd like. Okay. A little thicker this time around. And I'm going to use that nice sharp edge there. And imagine this phone is elevated off of the table. I'm going to go ahead and just put a little bit down in here. Just like this. And I could actually wait and do this afterwards so it doesn't bleed as much, but no big deal. We'll see what happens. Okay, looks fine. And I'll put a little bead along here. Okay, that looks all right. A little bit in there. All right, looks good. Okay. Let's see here. Maybe just a touch on the other side as well. Okay. It's all good. All right. Good for now. I could keep trying to play with it, but I'll probably mess something up. So I'll go ahead and leave that for now. All right, we're at the final stages.
Dave,
Yes,
Mr.
yes,
Haupt,
sir. Yes, sir.
Mr. Haupt, what inspirational quote have you included here on your cell phone?
Well, I was digging deep, and this appealed to me. it's by an artist, Pablo Picasso. He wrote this, not sure when, but it says inspiration has to find you working.
I like that.
I like that too. So, I've been working. What I'd like to do is take you through the final stages. The painted portion here took easily 15 minutes to dry. As I did a wet on wet approach, got it watered, and then I added the paint to it. So sometimes you occupy yourself doing other things while you're watching the paint dry.
Is that why you had that blues?
Yes, we
deal
were
going
ripping
there?
some blues. Some
Sounded
guitarist
good.
I know is really killing it over there.
Whoa,
Oops,
careful.
watch out for
Whoa,
that.
wow, geez.
Okay, so here we
Okay,
are.
You're still in focus.
I
Whoa.
think we're good.
I think it was an earthquake.
Yeah, I think it might have been. Because, well, the rock and roll.
Actually, it's an aftershock from that New Zealand quake.
So anyway, what we're going to do now that this is dry is do our inking. So I have a fine-tipped pen here and a nice Sharpie with a decent point. We're going to turn this into an outlined, almost an abstracted, kind of a cartoon-looking a version of this foam. We have a nice background, though. So here's what we're going to do. Once again, ruler. We'll go back over those same lines, and the contrast of the black should really bring out the phone and the message that we're going to include. So here we go. We'll start with a fine tip. Keep it simple. Line it up. Lay down your ink line. There it is. Oops, my pen is running out of ink. That's just great. Let's try this here. Hold on. That looks decent. Okay. With that, back to this one. Across the top. And it's a lousy pen. Hey, you got to choose your tools wisely. Here we go. Good enough. We'll finish out the outer part of the phone. Same approach. Get a nice pen. Might have to go get another pen for later and touch it up, but you're getting the idea here. I think what I'll go ahead and just use the Sharpie. Bring that down the side. Use a ruler if you don't have confidence. You know, trying to create that look of a shadow. Okay. What I've included here, if you can notice, I put in a makeshift little cable, perhaps for earphones or a charger, just to give it a different element. Get away from the real angular look of the phone and have some nice looking organic lines there. Some good curves. Here we go. We'll just finish this up with a regular Sharpie. It's all good. All right, we're nearly there. Okay. But how's that look? Let's go ahead and put in the quote. Okay, it looks like we've got most of it done. All that remains would be a few touch-ups around the phone here. And I penciled in my quote here. And so now that it looks centered, I can commit to the pen. Hopefully I spelled everything correctly. Oops, I almost messed up. Inspiration. That's what we need. Because working's fun. It really is.
I hear that, Mr. Haupt.
Inspiration has to find you working. Because if you're not working, you're not doing much. It's boring. Trying, failing, trying again, succeeding brings joy.
I once heard a famous person say that the road to happiness is paved with accomplishment.
I agree. You learn that as you get older, don't
Yeah,
you?
James Matthews said that.
Okay. How's
James
this look?
Matthews, the road to happiness paved with accomplishment.
Well,
Inspiration.
we do have this chord here. Now what I could do is maybe with a little fine tip pen like that, maybe just outline that chord to bring it out. And then I think we're going to be done. Here we go. I'll just go on the outer edge. Once again, kind of a crude cartoon. Not bad. Yeah. Let's see here. Now I left the phone entirely white this time. So within this region here, sometimes it's black on the screen, and you feel free to go ahead and use some of your black paint or something else, and you can kind of shadow that in if you choose to. But do this part first, see what you think. All right. Hope that's showing up a little bit better. There you go. Nearly done. This part here, I just did a little light brush with a kind of a medium purplish. Just try to represent a shadow of the chord. Just different touches. All right. Let's have a look. All right. All that remains is a quick little signature right about somewhere down here. I'll put it right here in the painted portion. Just your nice little tasteful signature. There we go. You can do this. Oh, and remember, always have a fabulous time.